بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين. اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم. اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to start chapter 12 of the first section of Mafatihul Hayat. This chapter is about recreation and sports. Recreation and sports. In Islam, we are supposed to give everything its due right. Our body has some rights over us. You need to look after your body. Not just because of the health of body or the strength of body, but also because it has also impact on your soul. So, if you want to be able to have healthy, happy, active life, even in your studies, in your religious life, community life, family life, in any aspect, you need also to look after your body. You need to look after your physical needs. You need also to have some time to enjoy, to have halal and permissible pleasure. So it's not something that you say, no, it would be waste of my time if I, for example, walk or climb mountain or I do some swimming. It's waste of my time. No, it's very important. It's very necessary. Of course, everything has to be done in a balanced way. Not that all the time we are just doing these things and then nothing serious is being done. So Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli in this chapter, which is the last chapter of first section, talks about recreation and sports and mentions some hadith and some good practical instructions. First, we have a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Part of it is mentioned in the book, but I have the whole hadith with me. It is mentioned in different books, but in particular we quote from Ma'an al-Akhbar by Sheikh Saduq rahmatullah. وَعَلَى الْعَاقِلِ مَا لَمْ يَكُنْ مَغْلُوبًا عَلَى عَقْلِهِ أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُ سَاعَةٌ. Every intelligent, rational person, if still is in a good rational condition, if he has not lost his mind, needs to have certain time, certain hours. But hour here doesn't mean necessarily 60 minutes. Sa'a, in that time, it didn't mean 60 minutes. It means time, some portion of time. Sa'atun yunaji fiha rabbahu azza wa jalla. You need some time to whisper to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to pray, to do zikr, to read Quran. وَسَاعَةٌ يُحَاسِبُ فِيهَا نَفْسَهُ. You need also a time to observe and assess and evaluate your own performance. مُحَاسَبَةُ النَّفْسِ. Have a close eye on yourself and what you have done. وَسَاعَةٌ يَتَفَكَّرُ فِي مَا صَنَعَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. You need also a time to contemplate on the creation of Allah subhanahu. Creation in general, or creation of yourself, your children, I don't know, everything. وَسَاعَةٌ يَخْلُو فِيهَا بِحَظِّ نَفْسِهِ مِنَ الْحَلَالِ. But also you need a time that you can enjoy yourself, do something that gives you pleasure, but from halal. Not na'udhu billah, from haram. Because haram may bring quick, instant pleasure, but is not really good for your health. It's not good for your physical health or spiritual health. It's just a kind of unwise, quick response. Like, for example, if someone is thirsty and there is salty water, okay, maybe just for a few seconds you feel good, but then you become more thirsty. It's not really quenching your thirst. وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ السَّاعَةِ. Then Rasulullah says, this particular time that you spend on enjoying yourself and getting some pleasure from halal, from permissible things, عَوْنٌ لِتِلْكَ السَّاعَةِ. This helps with those other times that you want to reflect, you want to do zikr, you want to do muhasabatul nafs. This helps you. Yeah? So by some physical activities, I don't know, can be some sports, some walking, I don't know, eating something delicious, spending, inshallah, we put time with the friends. You get energy and you recharge yourself. عون لتلك الساعات واستجمام للقلوب وتفريغ لها. This will bring some rest to your heart and make your heart capable of then focusing properly on other things. If you all the time keep doing serious things, then your function goes down. In the Hawza, one of the things that we were being told many times by our teachers was not to study too much. Because, at that time, I hope inshallah still is the same. The teachers used to say not to study too much. Now sometimes you have to say, please study. But they kept telling us, don't study too much. You have to look after your health. Because we didn't want to even cook anything, we wanted just to, for example, study. When we say, if we spend some time on, cooking, it's a waste. Of course, alhamdulillah, I listened to the advice, but some people were soon developing, a stomach pain, illnesses, some people even they had breakdown, because studying too much. Day and night studying. So one of the advice was that look after your food. Now, alhamdulillah, many schools, they give meals, but in the past, they used to cook themselves and they didn't want to cook. So study at least one day a week, have a holiday, like at least Friday or other thing, not study, but just, being more relaxed. And also in summer, for example, they used to advise that at least in summer, when it be very hot, don't stay in home. Go for holidays, go mashallah, whatever, So these were instructions given because everyone, not everyone, but most of the talibans were so serious about their studies that they didn't want to stop. But for the long term, maybe you can carry on like this 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but after some time, you become ill and psychologically, maybe you are not in a very good, you become nervous or stressful or angry. So it's very important. Rasulullah says, this time is good for your heart and helps you to be able to focus and concentrate better. There is a continuity for this hadith which is not related to our discussion now, but it's so good to miss it, so I don't want to miss it. وَعَلَى الْعَاقِلِ أَنْ يَكُونَ بَصِيرًا بِزَمَانِهِ. A person who is intelligent and rational should have insight, good understanding of his own or her own time. You cannot ignore the age, the era that you live in. You must know your time. You know, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam has this famous hadith, Al-alimu bi-zamane la tahjumu alayha al-lawabis. If you know your time, you don't keep making mistakes. We have to know in which age, in which era we are living, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, risks, everything, so that you can make proper decisions. مُقْبِلًا عَلَى شَأْنِهِ. An intelligent person would pay attention to his own affairs instead of being too much nosy about other things, or being carried away by distractions. حَافِظًا لِلِّسَانِهِ. An intelligent person is very careful about his tongue, about his words. فَإِنَّهُ مَنْ حَسِبَ كَلَامَهُ مِنْ عَمَلِهِ قَلَّ كَلَامُهُ إِلَّا فِي مَا يَعْنِيهِ. Any person who considers his words as his actions, then he would not speak too much, except in something which is relevant. Unfortunately, we normally underestimate a speech. We think a speech is not important. If I do something with my hand or food or other organs, that's an action. A speech is not an action, but a speech is very important action. And you would not speak then too much or about things which are not related. Okay, so this is the hadith which suggests very clearly that you need to have part of your time for permissible pleasure, halal ladha, so that you can regain energy and maintain your health and your spirituality. There is another hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is quoted as saying, "Ulluhu wal'abu, fa inni akrahu an yura fi dinikum ghilzah." According to this hadith, Rasulullah says, you must have some recreation, you must have sometimes games and play. I don't want harshness to be seen in your religion or religiosity. People should not think that if they become mu'min, it's just prayer and Quran and ziyarah and hajj. These people have no other things. Of course, sometimes you reach the point that you have to really pressurize yourself to go for other things, because your heart is somewhere else. But many people are not like that. Many people, you have to show them that in Islam we have also other things. In Islam, we go to park, we go to holidays, we travel, we have delicious food, we use perfume. So we have to give them a kind of balanced Islamic way of life, so that they don't think that if they come to Islam, they have to be very ascetic and, deprived from any worldly pleasure. You know the story of Qarun, that people used to tell him, La tansa nasibaka min ad-dunya. Yeah? When people saw Qarun has so much money, they told him, ابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة. Seek with what Allah has given you the hereafter, and don't forget your nasib, what you are going to enjoy from dunya. What does it mean? Amir al-Mu'minin has a commentary. Amir al-Mu'minin says, أي لا تنسى صحتك وقوتك وفراغك وشبابك ونشاطك وغناك أن تطلب به الآخر. Don't forget your health. Don't forget your power. Don't forget faragh, means the fact that you are not too busy and too preoccupied. You have some ability. Alhamdulillah, now we have faragh to come together and spend some time for learning. This is not guaranteed to be always there. We have to use this faragh. Shabab, you are young. Appreciate this youth. Wan nishataka, you have now passion. You are now energetic. You are vibrant. You know the value of this. Wa ghinaka, you are rich. You are not now in need of desperately looking for some money or some food or some house. Alhamdulillah, you have enough. So Amir al-Mu'minin says they meant لا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا أي لا تنس صحتك وقوتك وفراغك وشبابك ونشاطك وغناك أن تطلب به الآخرة. Don't forget that you have all these things and you need to use them for your hereafter. So appreciate all these things, maintain them, and then utilize them for your journey. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, "Inna fi hikmat al Dawood." It's in the wisdom and wise teachings in the family of Dawood, ala nabiyina wa alayhi salam. ينبغي للمسلم العاقل, for a believer who is intelligent, it is required and it is expected that would not do except one of the three. Allah yura dha'inan illa fi thalath, that he would not be found in a place or in a something except three. Maramma le ma'ash, either he's looking for some halal income, he's working, he's farming, he's doing business, he's teaching, he's doing something for his ma'ash. أو تزود لمعاد, or he is getting some provision for akhirah. Of course, those who are clever, even when they are looking for ma'ash, they are doing for akhirah, so they can do it together. But some people cannot do them together. So either they are looking for money or they are doing something for akhirah. They cannot do it together. The best is to do it together. أو لذة في غير ذات محرم. The third thing, so after looking for halal income and after collecting something provision for your akhirah, to have some permissible pleasure. Do something that gives you pleasure. This ladha is a type of food that you give to your soul. Your soul needs to sometimes enjoy. Otherwise, if you keep denying the soul this type of pleasure, then it can rebel. Yeah, it can rebel and go out of your control, take you to haram. So you have to give halal ladha to your soul. Imam Kadhim alayhi salam said, اجتهدوا في أن يكون زمانكم 4 ساعات. Try to divide your time into 4 types of time. ساعة لمناجاة الله. Part of it for whispering to Allah, for ibadah. ساعة لأمر المعاش. Part of it for earning halal income. which is very important, and inshallah we will talk about it also again and again. Islamically, we have to be productive. You cannot be lazy, or you cannot become dependent on others or on this society, and say, I don't want to work. No, you have to work. You have to make your own income. وساعة لمعاشرة الإخوان والثقات. You need some time to spend with your brothers, with your sisters that are reliable. These are brothers for brothers, sisters for sisters, who are thiqat, who are reliable, people with whom you don't need to worry. When we are with people that I have to be very careful about what I say and what I do, and I'm going to be, judged, it's again draining energy. But we need people with whom we can be very comfortable, and we can be sure that they don't, misjudge us, and they don't, take our secrets to other people. These people that we can trust, they create heavenly atmosphere for us. I am sure you all have this experience that some of the best times that you have had your life is when you are with such people, with friends that you can, from bottom of your heart, feel, at peace and enjoy. الذين يعرفونكم عيوبكم. These are the people also who teach you your problems, your faults. Good friends mention to you privately your problems. Bad people, bad friends, they don't say anything bad. And worst friends are those who take your problems and tell others. They don't say to you what is your problem, how you can improve. They mention it to your enemies or other people. But good friends only mention to you yourself alone. And they are taking risk, because sometimes people say, why I should say this? Maybe he or she doesn't like, I say that you have this problem. Of course, you have to say it in a very polite way, in an indirect way, sometimes, just as an opinion, as a, possibility, don't be harsh. يعرفونكم عيوبكم وَيُخْلِصُونَ لَكُمْ فِي الْبَاطِنِ. In their inner self or in their private life, they are mukhlis, they are very sincere, and they really love you. وَسَاعَةً تَخْلُونَ فِيهَا or تَخْلُونَ فِيهَا لِلَّذَّاتِكُمْ فِي غَيْرِ مُحَرَّمٍ. Imam Qadim alayhi salam says, also you need a time that you can be alone, you can be or with the people that you love, your family, whatever, that you have just your pleasure which is halal. No discussion, no necessarily, or for example, meeting or whatever. Of course, some people, their lazab can be in meetings or in studies, but you need something to enjoy yourself. In another hadith, Imam Kazim alayhi salam says that you must give your nafs, yourself, something from dunya that the self, the soul desires, but without doing immoral things and without doing israf, doing something excess. Okay, now I want to go to holidays. Okay, should I now do israf? Should I go to very luxurious holiday? No. We need to go to holiday. We need to sometimes go, for example, to have food outside, but where? A good halal restaurant, reasonable, not too expensive, not too luxurious, not something that you have to compromise about your requirements and about your diet. So with balance and with observing our moral values. At the end of this quotation, Imam Kazim alayhi salam says, لَيْسَ مِنَّا مَنْ تَرَكَ دُنْيَا. He says, it has been quoted, Imam says it has been quoted, that it's not one of us, مَنْ تَرَكَ دُنْيَا لِلدِّينِ. If someone altogether forgets and leaves aside his dunya or her dunya, no. We are people who are balanced. We don't say sacrifice your dunya 100% for your deen. No, we want to have good life also in dunya. We want to enjoy ourselves in dunya, but not for the sake of enjoying, for the sake of gaining energy for akhirah. But we need to be, when it comes to dunya, we need to have very good also worldly life, but reasonable. Good doesn't mean luxurious, doesn't mean, in excess. Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam says, As-sururu yabsutu an-nafs wa yuthiru an-nishat. In Ghurar al-Hikam, Amir al-Mu'minin says, when you have surur, you are happy. Sometimes make jokes, sometimes, laugh, This is good, because this would bring joy to yourself and would trigger nishat. You can have passion and excitement to work, to continue. Then some of the sports and recreational activities that in particular are recommended. For example, riding horse is recommended, and swimming, shooting arrows, or maybe nowadays, other types of also shooting which are useful. Anas ibn Malik was asked, سئل ابن مالك هل كنتم تتراهنون على عهد رسول الله. Did you have competition in the time of the Prophet? He says, نعم راهن رسول الله على فرس له فسبقه. Yes, he says even Rasulullah used to have sometimes, according to him, role, or was taking part in competition about riding, for example, faster or something like this. Once, according to hadith, روي أنه مر بقوم من الأنصار يترامون. Once Rasulullah was passing by some Ansar were companions, were from Medina, that they were yataramun. They were, they had competition about, or training, shooting arrows. فقال رسول الله أنا في الحزب الذي فيه ابن الأدراء. So Rasulullah also joined them and started also like them, exercising, or throwing arrows. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam also is reported that was sometimes taking part in competitions for riding horse, or shooting arrows. There are also some types of activities which are disliked and discouraged. Sometimes can be reaching the level of prohibition, like those things which involve gambling. Sometimes can be just disliked. So we have to be selective in what type of recreational activities we are going to have. But in general, the principle is that we need to have good, time for recreation and for sports. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we finished the first section of